Might as well do it. Let's go. Streaming started. Last minute decision, but you're in it. Fighting against V1 Simulations, who's also live right now. That's fun. Shout out V1 if you're an airplane fella. Who's going to watch? Okay, let's see. Okay, so here's where we're going. Let's go and select our helicopter first. We're going to do the 160. It's going to be a lot of me alone today. Cool with that. Blue, we're crossing water, obviously. Topped off on fuel. And we'll re-top that off as we're sitting on ramp as well. Saving back. Lucasa LGSA. I think we're gonna have some wind fighting us. All of that's live. Cool. Start. We're in it. Personal journey today. Personal journey today. Which, if you're watching this in the future, personal journey. I'm just middle of the day, weekday. Gotta get this done. Daylight's friendly, so. It's gotta happen. As part of deciding to fly around the world, you gotta do it in weird hours sometimes. Okay, let's see, get rid of all that. I don't think we have any pre-flight stuff on the outside of the 160. Nope, we're good. Why do I have people in here? I don't want people in here. Oop, don't freeze up on me. No, we don't. So those are just there for visuals. Okay, cool. Oh, let's see. How do we turn this one on again? Battery 1, battery 2. Do I have any fuel things here we got to do with? No. Got autopilot buttons that need to be turned off. Cool, I think technically we're good. $160, stupid easy to get started. There's 40. Oh, nice. You got a good spot? Good. Yeah, I was curious if you're even going to be in here today. I figured you're going to be busy doing your thing. Let's see this spot. Oh yeah, that's a solid spot. Get them while they're turning and everything as well. Know exactly where that's at. Good. Happy for that. Okay, emergency generator. Okay, cool. That's good, that's good, that's good. Sick. Africa Tower, we're out of here. Adios. It's going to be a 2.5-hour flight-ish, depending on what sort of speed we can get up to and maintain. Maria, good to see you again. Yep, so relatively boring day. Because as of right about now, we are never going to touch the African continent again in the Around the World series. Going to be a cruising-esque sunset flight. Try to maintain as fast as we possibly can. A little headwind right here. We'll keep climbing up to see if that changes. Got about 7 to 10 knots in the noggin right now. No, I don't want that. No, FDS is better. So yeah, personal journey today. If you want to continue hanging out, you're more than welcome, but it's going to be a lot of this today. And I actually even checked weather before the flight today, like in real life, to see what it would translate. Yeah, I feel bad for somebody coming and finding the episode today. Like, oh wow, look, a cool series. Somebody flying around the world in a helicopter. Yeah, we out there today. To say it lightly. "126 minutes, ground speed 134 knots. And I think all of today is tailwind. Or all of today is headwind. I don't think we have any favorable things. Trim it in just a little bit. Yep, a lot of this today. "152 knots ground." Cool. Like, this is rough, but in like 10 episodes, it's gonna be just as bad. Getting up to Iceland and Greenland and Canada. And I don't think it'll be super bad doing the Caribbean. I don't think that'll be an issue. Mostly because it's like, cool, we get up this high and we're already seeing like 3 or 4 of the other islands. Sure, there's open water, but there's not like vastly open water like this. Also kind of glad I'm getting this done now, because this puts it in a very low viewership number, and I'd hate to make people sit through this. Hey guys, welcome to my stream that I work a lot on. You're sitting in a helicopter now for 3 hours of open water nothingness. I wonder what sort of altitudes they would transit this at. Like if you were a professional pilot planning on flying a helicopter, good like 200 miles over open water. What's the move? Do you get altitudes? That way you can have radio with over the curve up there? Obviously you have a flight plan filed. Let people know which way you're going, what altitude you wanted to be at. Estimated time of arrival, fuel, all that stuff. So if you didn't show up, they would know pretty good area where to see you. Flight following services as possible. Yeah, interesting question. If you're a long-haul helicopter pilot who flies majority over open ocean, chime in below, let me know. And it looks like we're now leaving African airspace. So now we're just oceanic. Just about evened out ground speed and airspeed, so that's cool. 3,650 feet. Whoa. Also, if anybody's popping in and out of here, H-160 today. Cool shot. Also, it's funny seeing the cloud layer up here because you know that's... I'm going to assume it's just picking up what's happening more Grecian radar stations. And of course, once we get up there, we'll go synthetic. To the island. I don't know how mountainous the island is, never been there. Didn't research ahead of time, so we'll be synthetic when we get there. If there's a cloud layer like that, we'll plan on arriving above the cloud layer and IFRing in. Or really, I am seeing it. I'm not flight planning anything. But we'll put ourselves in instrument conditions to get in there with the safety of synthetic. And we'll be right near the limits of fuel and everything once we get in as well. It's always funny on trips like this. Cool, you just did 3 hours flying into somewhere. Then if you biff the landing, if something goes wrong, LOL, reset, do it again. Which that's a stream rules for anybody unfamiliar. If we biff anything around while we're going around, it's a reset on the day. So where we started out at, or wherever we last touched down for fuel or whatever, that's, we jump back to there and restart from there. Tell you what though, I did not want to stream last night. What does that make today? Today's the 29th. 30 days has September, April, June, and November, so 2 more days after stay. God, it seems like we barely got anywhere. I forget what our mileage was. Just see that time has passed, so that's a good thing. If I turn around, what's it look like? Oh, yeah, the coast is still there. That's one thing to be careful of. We get off the view for just a second, and we are diving. And this cloud layer up here looks closer than I expected it to be. We'll see as we get up. We'll go ahead and start a climb up to 5,000. See if that clears us when we get up here. $5,000 still seems low for the clouds, so we'll work to 6. Which also, like, I know it would make the world extreme levels of more busy, but more like live air traffic would be cool. There's 6,000. We did lose a little V&E there, but that's expected with altitude. ETA, hour and a half. Doesn't seem like it, but that's what it's telling me, so. Also, I want to say recently, one of these had to do an emergency ditching in the Gulf or off the coast of South America. I think off the coast of South America. We just had a helicopter go over the house. I felt it. Not on a radar, so they must have been low. I could feel the disturbance in the force. At least the clouds will give us a little sense of time and space passing. Because right now this is like hovering but not hovering simulator. When you're just flying over open ocean, it's like, cool, if you have your pedals set right, you're kind of just balancing the cyclic just a wee bit to manage speed and climb and your angle and everything. Whoa. Uncommanded. Weird. Cool, lost the tablet. That's fun. Where'd my tablet go? The battery on my EFB must be dead. Oh well. Though it's just kind of nice seeing the progress on that. Okay, let's get our speed back. Got us back at 84 minutes ETA. I got to like 95 there because we had slowed down so much. With the great happening over the water here. Oh, still no tablet. Very weird. playing right at that B&E level right now. Trying to avoid that maximum speed call. Ooh. I don't know what that area code is. Sounds like a spammy text message. Let's see. Weird, not my problem. Yeah, wouldn't say we're halfway now, but we're getting there. We're close. We're more than 2/3, or more than 1/3. Downside, with the clouds, I cannot see ground approaching even if we were close. Just about got it figured out here. Speed and altitude pretty much locked where I'd like it to be. We have headwind, but minimal. But somehow our ground speed's higher. I'm not going to argue that. Shut up, no we're not. I feel like a YouTube pilot. So, if you're unfamiliar with that term, there's a envelope of speed versus like what the vehicle can actually handle versus air pressure and altitude and stuff. And basically, as you go up in altitude, your max speed decreases, where your actual airspeed versus true airspeed versus, it's all a whole bunch of numbers. And basically the U-2 bomber, or spy plane, sorry, the U-2 spy plane flies, and they call it the envelope of death or the window of death or something like that. And basically at the altitude that they're going, since it's not a supersonic vehicle, they have like 4 or 5 knots of airspeed, because if they go any slower, it'll be stalling. But if they go any faster, then it's exceeding limitations of what the aircraft can do, and it will fall apart, disintegrate. So there's this weird medium of the higher you go, the more of an operational envelope that you have that you need to abide by. But please feel free to look that up on your own time. Don't just listen to me. I'm but a lowly helicopter pilot. So I feel like the next 30 to 40 minutes will just be more of nothing. And then we'll be getting to the place where it's like, oh cool, we can see land way up there, if there weren't any clouds. burning 328 kilograms an hour, 927, so we have like 2 hours 45 minutes, 2 hours 49 minutes of fuel left. I was guessing, but there's a number there on top of the fuel gauge reading. We have 75 minutes of flight, so I think we're good. "68 minutes. "69 minutes and we're at 69 feet altitude. What up?" Took a little bit of maneuvering to get. Wish we could be going 169 knots at the same time. That would have been a good one. But alas, more than V&E, so... 65 minutes. Not bad. Which does, looking at the big map, definitely leads credence to the 2-hour flight time estimate. Which we could be to land sooner, but at this point it's like we're already this committed. I could toot north and take like 10 minutes off my 2 land time, but then I'd be adding 15 minutes to airport. Not worth it. Oh. More left pedal, interesting. Cloud looks like a cat with its face getting hit by a piece of ham. That one there. It's like a cat face getting hit by the ham or cheese or whatever that people were doing. You may hear increased blade slap. That's because I'm leaning into it a little bit, getting my airspeed back. I want to be as near 160 as possible. Absolutely riveting flight footage today, that's for sure. First time our ETA said under an hour. That's cool. Of course, we'll probably pop back over to that just with speed variations and stuff, but definitely much closer to Greece than we are to Africa right now. Hey, second viewer, welcome to the world's slowest stream today. Middle of the day, water crossing over the Mediterranean. Doesn't get much more exciting than that. Still wish I knew where my tablet went. It's just gone. So weird. And now that we are more than halfway, I will definitely be looking out for Greece to my right. Oop, auto dimming. Guess it's sun setting time. I think it's 7:51 out there. And another thing, we can also expect more and more realistic weather the closer we do get to a big dog airport. Weirdly, the clouds are thinning out some. Okay. Also, I'm pretty sure I see land out there. It's way too far above the horizon to not be land. So that's cool, if true. Although I will not be distracted, we will continue on course. As it's only 50 minutes left. Oh. Yeah, that's definitely land. There's no way that's not. That would check out with all my angles as well. So we'll officially say it land ho. Just gotta get to it now. Another 50 minutes. And 150 knots. It looks like more than halfway, and it looks like we're considering this a new starting point. Then a little bit more than halfway through we'll be over land, so good sign. Liking it. The 160 is a good cruiser for speeds approaching 160. Yeah, y'all could probably see those now for whoever's rewatching this in the future. Definitely landish mountains out there. $25 till coast. So 128 is what I'm guessing. Ooh, bigger mountain over to the left, starting to come into view. Also feels like we're descending now that we're out of the clouds. Trying to keep our altitude 7 or above. almost getting into details of the coastline. "37 minutes on the GPS. Trim her up a little bit. Oh no, there's a chance we may beat sunset. That's cool. Ground speed 160 plus, cool. I like it. Actually, we're pretty close to that point over there when it comes out. That's cool. We're going back to hovering simulator. We're basically just minimally balancing things to keep speed and altitude happy. The clouds make it nice to fly over, but now that we don't have any to fly over, it's just feel like you're floating for the next 15 minutes. So kind of a good angle that we're flying here to keep the sun out of my eyes. Sucks for Maria though. She can get over it. Excuse me. 3 people in here. Welcome to the we're almost to Greece simulator. We're in that weird part of the journey now where it's other side of the planet, so if we want to fly during daylight hours, I have to start flying middle of the day. But as we move further and further to the west now, it'll get easier and easier for timelines. That's why the last month or 2 of this has sucked, just because we're somewhere not exactly fun to fly in the middle of the night, you know. But now that we're getting up into Europe, here within 10 minutes, probably European airspace sooner than that actually, but either way, we are close. And also, feel free, if y'all have something to say, please let me know. I've been sitting here quiet for almost 2 hours now, but I accept that. That's part of flying around the world and having to do weird times sometimes. They're going to be boring streams. If anybody watching is wondering, we are in the Airbus H160 by Hype Performance Group. Slowest flight in the world. Somewhere around here, we'd be asking for permission to enter the airspace. I was wrong. I said the island by 128. It's 125. We're not near the... Well, we're near the island. But we're not 3 minutes near. Maybe 3 minutes near the airspace. So close guess. Yep. 5 miles away from Grecian airspace right now. Cool. I'll take it. Solid guess. Hey, I can see towns and stuff now. Good shit. Looking good. Hour 55 of fuel, 20-ish minutes or so till airport. Starting to descend now, and we can watch the red line above the 160 slowly tick its way up. As the lower we go, the higher our V&E speed gets. Ticked up again. Get down to like 5,000 or so. Across 6,000, it ticked up again. Doing good. Hey, Grecian airspace. Leveling off at 5,000-ish. We can step our ponies up now that we're lower. A little more power to give, a little more speed to take. That's what we're looking for. The only reason we weren't doing this earlier was I liked being higher as we were well over the water. Because my controls can be touchy with this particular helicopter that I know from experience. So give myself the opportunity to save it if something happens with me sneezing. Like that. Must be. Sorry about that. Definitely getting the sunset as we can see the sun shadow light line on the mountaintops over there. The rest of the island is in shadow. No climbing, yes descending. Mountains are almost completely in shadow now. Good, it's getting late in the evening. Oh, buddy. Yeah, I know. A little fast there. Whatever. We're good. Helicopter didn't fall out of the sky. Got some lights on now. Allegedly. Hey, now that ground's in sight, more people show up for the stream. Welcome. We just missed 2 hours of over the water nothingness. Just in time for the finale. 10 minutes from the airport. But glad you're here. Another helicopter just flew over. Seems likely. I love when the game starts to freeze up on me after a 2-hour stream of if we crash, we gotta reset. It's always fun. And why come down here and avoid the path a little bit, but go through the thing? Because we can. When flying above water, it's time to fly below ground level a little bit. very close. Less than 15 miles from the airport, we're cruising 162 knots over the ground. Shoo-wee! Okay, what's up everybody? Welcome in. Y'all just missed the 2 hours over the water. Now we're in Greece. Oh, we're over Greece. We're in an Airbus A360. But I have been flying for 2 hours. So, I'm allowed to say I'm in Greece. It's usually what the physical requirement is to check on that and make sure. You just have to have been flying for 2 hours and you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm in Greece. Airport in sight. Why are we slowing down? We still got 4 minutes left that we can be doing 160 knots with. I do need to do that on satellite so we can make it over this, because for some reason the tablet, the EFB that we get for Microsoft Flight Sim, just ceased to exist. So we'll need a little something to look at airport ground and where we should park. Okay, we'll start slowing down now, I guess. I don't want to descend that much. More interested in slowing, so more aft cyclic. Once we get below 60, we'll drop gear. We'll turn our landing lights on. Cool. Cool shot. Like it. Let's figure out where we're going to land. Parking brake is off. Yep. It's looking like military bases on this left side and FBOs and stuff are on the right side over here. So that's where we're going to go. Hey, we're back in radar altimeter areas. Crossing runways. 29 left, 29 right. Yeah, that's definitely military base-ish looking over there. Got a military base-ish looking everywhere, but I don't care. This is our destination. I think we park over here near tower. Oh no, there's fuel farm. There we go. Okay, everybody, welcome to... What are you doing, Blades? You were perfectly fine. Okay, everybody, welcome to Greece. We are off the continent of Africa. We are now in the continent of Europe. I would pull up my tablet and show you, but the tablet fell out the window somewhere. I don't know where it's at. But anyways, big water crossing done. A whole bunch of little skips now. And let's just look at where we are. Oops, so we're now here. We'll have little skip here, little skip. Let me just put this on full fuel so we can have a reference of distance. Fuel payload, manage fuel. Oh man, why'd you go all the way up there like you always do? Crazy. So we did another flight like today. We could be basically in Italy. So I'm thinking next episode we'll fly from Crete down here, up Greece, and over to the heel of Italy. So probably like tank of fuel to here, then do that jump, so short jump. And that puts us within a week or so of leaving the UK. Cool. Anyways, short episode today, everybody. Thank you for watching Southeast Aviation. Thanks for coming in here and commenting earlier. Anybody who's watching now that didn't say anything, appreciate you just stopping in. Subscribe. We'll be doing this more. We've gone most of the way around the world. We just got to finish up doing it now to get back to the US. So yeah, thanks everybody. See you next time.